Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Vincent at Jest, and I'm back with my part 2 of the bookshelf tour. This time, I'm just gonna do one shelf. It's ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and a couple of reference books in the middle. You can probably see I got a lot of other shelves here, but for lack of time, I want to put out a short video. We're just going to do one shelf today. First up, got these two bookends. I got from Goodwill for $15 last week. I think they're amazing. Had to get them. They're super awesome. All right, we're going to start out in the middle of my reference books. Got the Penguin Classics book by Henry Elliott. This collects almost every single Penguin Classic book there's ever been. And it has a little blurb about each. It also tells you the history of Penguin Publishing and all the types of versions of the Penguin spines, like this one, that one. See, that one, they're all like, it's evolved. And also the Penguin Classics that are out of print. This book is huge, it's illustrated. It's divided by time period. I read every single entry up to the Industrial Age, and it's super fascinating. But I didn't read the Industrial Age because I don't care about the Industrial Age, so whatever. Next up, we got Beauty and the Beast, Fairy Tales, Aesop's Fables, Treasury of Irish Fairy and Folk Tales, Treasure of Classic Poetry, and Tales of Norse Mythology. These are all Barnes & Noble editions, the big kind. I haven't read any of these. Now I'll go to the books on the top. I got some top books. Everybody book like top, every book. So first up, we got the Dictionary of Classical, Biblical, and Literary Allusions by Abraham Lass. I'm a sadist, so I highlighted every single entry based on its category. But this is just alphabetical. It's got mythology, Bible, the other stuff. It's decent. I actually read the whole thing. Yeah. All right, next top book. We got Oxford Dictionary of Allusions. So this one's a little more official than that other one. This one is collected by topic in alphabetical order. I've read 30-40% of it in full. This one's definitely a solid work of reference. It's got like quotes on how to use each allusion, and in the back it's got like an index and whatever. But I think it's important to be an illusory student of illusions, because almost all of the great things came before, and we just imitate. We take them and we spin these old ideas and characters. So if you know the past, you know the present. So that's why I have these two books. Then up top here, got a couple, pull them out, couple Latin reference books. I took Latin in middle school and high school, 6 years, I think, 5-6 years. So I'm very interested by Latin. This is a dictionary of Latin words and phrases. I haven't even opened this book yet, but I was interested in the phrases. But a lot of Latin has stuck with me even after all these years. So, and it's in popular culture a lot. Common sayings, the medical terms, biological terms. It's just useful. And then this is less of a reference book, but it's kind of it's called The Best Latin Lines Ever. It's like a best of Latin lines and phrases, mostly from the Roman Republic. I couldn't name you all the people who are mentioned here, but I know my favorite was Horace. That guy was crazy. Let's see, what's this? Omnia Vincit Amor, love conquers everything. That's Virgil. The naughty old man Ovid's in here. Catullus. They were all naughty. They're crazy. And just learning some, if you want to learn like fun facts, this is a good book, but I just liked reading the lines, but I'm not a huge like fun fact guy. I prefer to get into the nitty gritty. And Harry Mount, he writes very colloquially, which is not really my jam. So I wouldn't read this again, but I'm glad I read it and got to write down all the cool quotes. All right. So, I'm going to start out with the ancient Greece section. This is a book. It's a book. Trojan War and Ancient Art. Is it a picture book? A little bit. It's basically just the artwork that came after the Trojan War. I haven't read it. I'm waiting until I finish the Iliad and the Odyssey. But it's by Susan. Thank you for your contribution, Susan. All right, next we got Penguin Classics Deluxe, Fagles, Knox, the Iliad and the Odyssey. I tried to read the Iliad. It was good, but it was so repetitive that I stopped reading it for a while, and then I just lost the drive to finish it. So it's back on the shelf for now. I do have the Lattimore translation back here. I haven't really compared translations. I'm still not great at that. Figuring out which one I like better. Yeah, we'll see. I gotta finish one first. But then the Odyssey, I have not read that either. But I've read Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. So basically, I've read the Odyssey. Yeah. But also, just going a little right here, I got a Harvard Classics, The Odyssey of Homer, translated by S.H. Butcher. One of my friends got this for me, which is really cool. Looks awesome. But yeah, I've got like, I think 6 total between the two of these. So I'm not lacking in translation. I'm just lacking in commitment. It's not you. It's me. And next we have Greek orations, collected by W. Robert Connor. Yeah, I haven't read this, but it looks very cool. Got to use... Oops. All right, next we got A.R. Byrne and the Pelican History of Greece. I haven't read this. I've heard it's kind of dense and old, but if you read it all the way through, valuable. So, yep. Pelican Histories are like the non-fiction version of Penguin. I don't think they make any Pelicans, or they haven't for a long time, but this one also used, yeah. Next we got Life and Thought in the Greek and Roman World by M. Carey and T.J. Harhoff. It's by University Paperbacks. And you may be wondering, which university is it from? I am also wondering this. All right, getting to a book I have read, we got Thermopylae, The Battle That Changed the World by Paul Cartledge. This is about the Greco-Persian War between the Greeks and the Persians. They fought. And the Persians were the big army, and they came down, they went around Turkey, down into Greece, and then the Spartans were like, we gotta stop them. And they came up, and they went, ooh, we're gonna hit you, King Xerxes, and we're gonna kill all of you. And then Xerxes was like, I have 100 times your manpower. And he went, ooh, and killed the Spartans. But not before the Spartans had murdered at least 10 times the amount of Persians that Spartans had in their entire force, which was more than 300. They had a lot more in total. There's other Greeks there too, but Paul Cartledge does a good job explaining the lead up to the battle, the Greek and Roman world at the time of war, as well as not the Greeks and the Persians, and then Spartan culture, and then he actually gets into the battle. It's pretty cool. I learned a lot. And Paul Cartledge's main source here is the father of history, Mr. Herodotus himself. I got this Robin Waterfield translation. Have not read this yet, but it looks awesome. This thing's a unit. And from the excerpts that I read in Thermopylae, I really liked Herodotus's writing. I read like a 10-page muster list of the Persian army, and I was fascinated by it. Just he listed weapons and people and generals, and it was awesome. So I think I will have a great time with this. I love history. Yeah. And last one, Hesiod, Works and Days and Theogony, foundational mythological Greek work by the poet. Is he a poet? Yeah, by the poet Hesiod. So I think I'm going to read this instead of the Iliad. I'm going to be cheeky and then put it on my Goodreads total. All right, now ancient Rome. Let's see. So I haven't read these first four, but I'll just show them. Suetonius, Lives of the Caesars. Not much to say about this. Here's a really cool find I had. Let's see if I can get the light. It's Harvard Classics. The Letters and Treatises of Cicero and Pliny. That would be Pliny the Younger. So I haven't read any Cicero or Pliny, any of like their published works, but this is their letters. I'm not planning to get to this soon, but it was such a cool find that I couldn't not take it. And then here we have the third Fagles, the Aeneid. Still waiting to get to that, and Metamorphoses by Ovid. I'll take out this last book because it's a little different. Cornell University Press, The Heirs of the Roman Empire. It's basically, this is just like a pamphlet. This Cornell just printed a book. And last, not least, we got my Stoic literature. I'm a big Stoic reader. I found the philosophy really valuable. I wouldn't say I'm a practicing Stoic, but it's my favorite philosophy that I've read so far. Okay, so first up, we got my favorite philosophical work of all time, the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Roman Emperor, Stoic, father, brother, son, good guy all around. Thoughtful man. He wrote down his reflections, his thoughts on life in a private journal, and it survived. So now we get to read what he wrote in the translation by, what does it say? Gregory Hayes. It's Gregory. But fantastic work, my favorite. Next up, we have Epictetus' Discourses and Selected Writings. Epictetus was a Roman Greek. He was a few decades at least before Marcus Aurelius. He was a teacher, and his student Arrian, who also wrote something famous, took down Epictetus's lectures, and they became the Discourses. And we only have like half of them surviving, I think, but they're super cool to read. And we also have his fragments and his handbook, the Enchiridion. And Epictetus is he's a hit you in the face philosopher. He doesn't hold back. He's very headstrong and firm in his convictions. This differs from Marcus Aurelius in that Marcus was just writing reminders to himself personally, but Epictetus is lecturing, and you're the object of his fury, and it's awesome. I love it. Also 5 stars. Next Stoic, Seneca, Letters from a Stoic. These are the letters that Seneca wrote to his buddy Lucilius, I believe. Just letters about life, different topics. He weaves in Stoic ethics and Roman culture. It's very worldly. It's full of a lot of wisdom, despite Seneca's lack of following his precepts. But I think he did his best. And then the last book on the shelf, not least because there is that book of Latin phrases, but How to Think Like a Roman Emperor, The Stoic Philosophy of Marcus Aurelius. This is by Donald Robertson. That's not Donald. He's a psychotherapist. Also, I think he studies Stoicism on the side, or philosophy, but he combines his experience in psychotherapy with the Stoics, mainly Marcus Aurelius. And it's basically a supplemental analysis of the Meditations mixed with a biography of Marcus Aurelius, which helped to plug the gaps that you don't really get in Meditations because he's not writing an autobiography. This was a good book. Robertson writes pretty well. It's like in the middle. It's not too confusing, but it's above colloquial. Solid 4 stars. Yep. So that's my shelf of the ancient world. I threw some stuff down here, but yeah, thanks for watching.